Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the Collider Games podcast. My name's Dennis Den, and in studio I've got
Josh Weyers.
And through the magic of Skype, we've got Caboose. Caboose, how you doing?
Doing good. Glad to be back, and pretty big news day.
Yeah. It was kind of slow earlier in the week. I was like, oh, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Nothing to talk about. And then suddenly in the last few days, a lot of stuff dropped. Let's start off this one thing. It's not the biggest topic. It's probably not going to grab the most headlines or whatever, but I just thought this was very interesting, especially because, we're here in Hollywood. We're, Collider, started off and is still with the entertainment world. The WGA has dropped the awards for game writing, which I find...
Yeah.
Kind of silly, really.
Yeah, they've decided that there won't be a video game writing award in 2020, and that maybe it will return in the future when there's a critical mass of video games covered by the WGA in order to provide a meaningful award selection process, which is like crazy because games nowadays are much more cinematic, much more storytelling driven, and there's just so many, like with last year we had God of War, we had Red Dead Redemption 2. We have, next year we're going to have Last of Us Part 2. We're going to have Cyberpunk 27. How is video games not going to be recognized for achievement?
I mean, I think it's laziness. It's in the statement itself. They're basically just saying, "Oh, we don't have somebody to review the games." That's basically what they're saying.
Jeez. What's your take?
Definitely
Caboose?
enough games.
I think this is super lame, especially with Last of Us 2 right on the horizon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like with how good that game was, and especially with Last of Us, the first game, that's like some of the best writing I've seen in any medium. So
Well, that won one of the awards, one of the screenwriting.
Yeah, right.
One of the
right.
WGA awards.
I mean, this is super lame if you ask me.
Okay, so Portal and Half-Life writer Chet Falzek, he tweeted out, he's like, I've never joined the WGA and never will. To win this award, you have to be a member. When they asked us to join so we could win, we could pay dues, but not vote. Because game writing isn't real writing, not like a short story published in a zine read by 12 people. So,
hey, join our guild. Pay to join our guild, but don't do anything on the guild.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to include these members and they're paying their dues, they should have the full extent
To be able to vote and everything. I agree.
Yeah, to do everything else everyone else does. They can't be like half members or whatever.
I think it's a big loss for them as well, because it's such an easy way to get a whole new group of people interested in writing as well. You know what I mean? And to get people interested in the WGA. Like, I only heard about the WGA when I moved here. I moved to LA. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just seems like a bad market move from my point of view.
Yeah, for people who don't know, the WGA is the Writing Guilds
of America.
Which there's the PGA, the Producers Guild of America, the DGA, the Directors Guild of America, the SAG is the Screen Actors Guild. So there's all these guilds and associations for writers, directors, actors, producers, and whatnot. And these groups are supposed to, help one another by being a group where, like, if the writers go on strike, right? It's the WGA that kind of votes on that and decides whether or not they're going to do it and what are their demands and all this stuff. So in theory, it's obviously a good thing for writers or any other of the other guilds, so that they don't get walked over.
There's a lot of pluses and minuses to joining any kind of it's a union, essentially. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, now that I think about it, I guess there's not really there is no, like, as far as I know, there's no specific union just for video game writers.
No.
So I
mean, there's no union for video game workers at all. So that's been a big
that's
complaint.
where they get screwed a lot, I guess, with crunch time.
Yeah, and so being part of something like the WGA, there's definitely a lot of benefits. I think it's overall a good thing. I think they're just kind of a little. Maybe
they're understaffed. I don't know.
Here's a quote from the director of Last of Us Part 2, Neil Druckmann. He said, "Very disappointing at the WGA for removing the video game category from their awards. A misguided slap in the face for writers and games."
Yes, I agree with that.
So yeah,
especially right before the game comes out as well. Like they worked so hard on that, and they got the previous award. They know that they probably would have gotten another award as well. So it really is a slap in the face.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the kind of the skills and the artistry of video games are just kind of being underappreciated.
There's a lack of respect for sure, yeah.
Yeah, especially, it's gone so much further than, I understand before when, a game is, let's say, a platformer, right? It doesn't really it has like a basic storyline. This person needs to go save this person, right?
But when you have pages, when you have like fucking like 600 pages of script writing, like
if you played all the way through Red Dead Redemption 2, that is like seasons worth of, like that's like a whole season worth of writing.
And it's all excellent writing as well, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that. I think it's
yeah, I think it's a good topic. Obviously, it's still related.
Yeah, and I just don't think
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Writers Guild just needs to get some fresh blood in there, some young blood. They're very old school. Like from what I've heard from friends of mine who are writers and who have joined, they're just
the Academy itself is old school. A lot of these things.
Close-minded, yeah.
Hollywood is not always when it comes to the newest things, whether it's technology or
until it starts making a lot of money, they don't. But
it does make a lot of money. That's
which blows
thing.
My mind. It's a huge industry. Like, these games are pumping out more money than most of their scripts are pumping out. Yeah.
But remember, this is something they don't know. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's why they need that new blood, man.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move on to the next topic. We have a Death Stranding trailer that actually makes sense. It was the most straightforward. It was also the shortest. It was a very short trailer, basically showing Norman Reedus' character. Basically, he's got to connect the world, and these people are trying to stop him. They made it very, very simple.
He's a delivery boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured they'd have to at some point.
Well, it's been a good marketing plan so far because it's every single time they've released any kind of like footage or anything, there's more questions than answers, and that has people talking about it a lot more. So it's definitely a great marketing plan. When's the release date again?
It's next month, November 8th.
Yeah, so it makes sense for them to bring this out then now so that we can finally get the gist of things. And like it's a fairly simple question they answered us, which like what do you do? What is it like? Essentially, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And in a minute they kind of told us that, which is it's nice. It's clips of like footage we've seen before, but now it's put in a sequence of order that makes sense.
Yes, and eventually, because like all those other ones, those are great for the hardcore gamers, the people who are already going to buy this anyways, based on Hideo Kojima's
just based
history.
On him,
based on the fact that Hideo Kojima's
yes, and those are great for him, for those fans.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah,
Norman Reedus, lots of good faces. Yeah,
but for the average gaming fan, right, the one that isn't really into those type of games or
hasn't been somebody who hasn't played like a
Metal Gear
exactly.
Solid, that type of stuff. It's for them to see and go, oh, okay, cool, that looks pretty cool, and now I get the gist of what this guy is doing, especially with Norman Reedus' mainstream broad appeal. He is, arguably the most famous face in The Walking Dead. Or maybe he's just maybe not the most famous because you have what's her face, Denai Guerrero had left.
He did. I'd say he's definitely one of the more like fan favorite characters.
Yes.
Obviously,
he's a bit more.
Which
iconic.
I'll never understand. All he does on that show is not shower and walk around with a crossbow. But
whenever
whatever.
I think of Norman Reedus, I just think of Blade 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right. Throwback.
That's a callback.
Yeah, man. He was, even though he was great in Blade 2. And then he had a cool TV show about riding motorcycles with friends and stuff. I like that.
Yeah. So I mean, go ahead.
The trailer looks good. I mean, I'll tell you what. Probably going to get some hate for this in the comments and stuff, but the more that I start seeing, like, the more that I see from Death Stranding, the kind of less interested I become from like just like I don't know. I'm less impressed from the game. The gameplay doesn't look good to me at all. If you're asking me, I'm not.
Well, I mean that wasn't gameplay footage.
Like a big draw point for this game. I'm still gonna get it because it's Hideo Kojima and he's a master, and
the
he's
story's gonna be great. You know
greats. That. But I don't know. I don't know about this. I hope that people don't just ride the hype of it being from Hideo Kojima and actually try and look at this and see what they genuinely think. Because I'm scared that it's gonna come out and it might be pretty good, but everyone's gonna say it's a masterpiece because it's Hideo Kojima. You know. So I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in this. I wonder what other people think, but I'm just like, my hype is starting to die down for Death Stranding.
See, for me, maybe a little opposite, where I am very interested in it, but I am not a Hideo Kojima like fanboy because I've played a few of the Metal Gear games, but not a lot. So for me, like, I'm more interested in this actually because of kind of who he's brought together on this game, you know, with Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro, Mads Mikkelsen, and what's his name? What's that director's name?
Nicholas Winding Refn?
Yeah, Nicholas Winding.
Yeah.
Just like that odd, like it just seems so odd to me. It's very interesting. Yeah. Now, obviously, when I play it, and if I don't like the gameplay or I don't like the story, I'm going to say so.
Right.
I just haven't. It's just so. I don't know. Like I know so little about this game, you know, that like once I get into it, that's when I can judge more.
Yeah, the marketing's definitely worked on you. And I see where you're coming from, Caboose. For me as well, it's like, I wouldn't say that the hype has died down for me, but it's just, I actually know that's probably exactly it. I was going to say there's less hype for me. But that's a problem when people announce a game like years ahead of the time. And I get that they have to do that for financing purposes. You know what I mean? To get more finances, to get more funds, to finish the game. So we got to show it off, get the higher ups happy. But then it's one of those things where I was like, I've been stoked for this game for a while, where I'm like kind of running out of the energy to be excited for it. I remember like the trailer we just looked at, that wasn't gameplay footage. Have we seen any game actual?
Cinematic.
Yeah, have we seen any actual gameplay footage?
Just gameplay footage.
Okay,
we have. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you don't know what he's doing. Like he goes over, puts a ladder on some mountains and climbs up.
I mean, the combat from that trailer, if the combat's anything like that, the combat does look quite interesting. I'd like to see the different weapons they come out with and things like that. I think the story's going to be kick-ass, but I'm pretty sure that everyone's gonna review this like fairly. They're not gonna be sitting there with like rose-colored glasses on, you know. Yeah, no, it'll get a fair review. It'll get a fair shakedown.
Moving on to the next topic, Ghost Recon Breakpoint released today. I haven't heard too much about it. It's not causing much of a, I don't know.
Like it's social media storm, if you will.
Yeah. From what
the trailer did, like when the trailer dropped.
When the trailer did, yes, with John Bernthal and everything, looked really cool. But in terms of the game itself, from what I've read so far, is people are like, it's good, it's fun, it's just like the other ones, just a little bit bigger, a little more. You know what I mean? Like there isn't too much new to it, and not that that's like a terrible thing, but just that's why it's like if you like the other ones, you'll like this one.
Yeah.
Have you guys, Caboose, have you been hearing anything about Ghost Recon Breakpoint?
I mean, I've seen a couple of mixed reviews. I haven't seen anything too overwhelmingly negative, which I guess is a good thing. I do want to play it. I just, that was just another game where I wasn't overly excited for it. It looked pretty good. Obviously, John Bernthal's the man, so I'm excited to see like what his performance was in the game. But looking at the Metacritic and seeing what some people are saying online, it doesn't look like it's been the best. Like it's not getting crazy rave reviews from what I could tell. So,
yeah. Are any one of you guys planning on getting it?
I was until I saw the reviews.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's it's like you said, it's not anything. I was hoping for something new. That's what I was kind of hoping for. And having if you'll allow me to read this outscript from one of the reviews, it kind of doesn't make me want to play it because I hate these like errand running games. Where this is what one of the reviewers said from IGN. The majority of my breakdown experience can be summed up as follows. 1. Select a mission. 2. Open the map and find the destination icon. 3. Fast travel to the campsite closest to it. 4. Set up a temporary camp so I can call in a vehicle from my garage. 5. Summon my vehicle to use it to fly the remaining 1 or 3 kilometers to the objective. 6. Land on the outskirts of the enemy camp. 7. Go prone, pull out my drone, that rhymes, and start marking targets for clarity and a shitload of XP. Start sniping people. 9. Once everyone or thing is dead, I jaunt through the urban graveyard, opening chests, collecting clues to further a completely optional investigation system, and picking up intel items to reveal other collectibles to go find. 10. Repeat. It's the 10 that got me. Like, I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Yes.
You
So
know?
that's the thing is like the thing that people when they play games is like obviously that game loop of the game mechanic of how you fight is very similar, but the way people keep playing a game is that you can do different and new things
And
within it.
Yeah. There's also the case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, I guess, which is also something they're kind of looking at. It's not fresh, but I mean, if the diehard fans are gonna love it. You know, there's loads of customization options. I remember them saying that if it's a game you haven't played before, it's gonna take you like a good 4 hours, maybe like or so to like figure out everything how the game works.
Right.
But then again, it's like Borderlands 3 that came out. It still had some errand running quests. You know, like go deliver the thing, go here, shoot the people there, come back just to find out you got to go all the way back there again. But at the end of the day, you're playing it because the gameplay is fun. You know, so I don't know. I think for me, rather than buying it, I'm going to go see if a friend has it, try it out there first, and then see if I want to try it out.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I heard was the co-op is fun.
Yeah,
The
that's
co-op
true,
is
yeah.
fun, which is always can change like a mediocre game to much better.
Exactly. If you got good company, then yeah, you know.
So yeah, I mean, for me, it's one of those issues of, I mean, less about money and more about time. Like, oh, am I going to invest X amount of hours into this game?
Because they don't seem like quick things you can just hop in and out of.
Yeah, it's like because there's so much, and remember, games aren't like movies or whatever where you can just it's 2 hours. Either it's good or it's not, but you didn't waste that much time.
Yeah.
TV's a little different because, like, if you want to get fully invested in a television series, it's
You need to watch like
hours.
2 or 3 episodes at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Video games is different. You got to engage how many 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 hours.
Usually like 50 to 60 hours.
Which is a good thing if the game is great. But that kind of I don't know. That kind of acceptance of that, like, okay, I'm going to sit down and try and play this game is not there. Speaking of games that can suck away your time, Apex Legends Season 3. Caboose, have you been on since it's been released?
No, I really wanted to get some time to play it, though, because it looks really cool. I've watched a lot of streams and watched a lot of people who are playing it, and the new map looks awesome. I think they added the new charge rifle, right?
Yeah, that's
fun.
fun. That's fun. I was playing around with it yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember that from Titanfall. That weapon was awesome. But yeah, like everything looks really, really fun about it, and I definitely want to jump in. Josh messaged me to ask for my gamer tag, so we'll hopefully get some games in soon.
Accept my friend request so we can play some Apex.
I just never log on my PlayStation. I'll accept you tonight.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, I played a little of it. It's interesting because it's like it's a brand new map, and so like I don't know where anything is. Not like I was an expert at the old map, anyways, but at least I kind of knew where stuff was. Yeah. This one is I have no clue, right?
It's like a hard reset for everyone, which is fair at least,
Yeah, and I'm like running around with no weapon,
Where's the loot? Where's the loot?
Exactly. But it's cool. It's much brighter. When you do your drop off, like you can look at the map.
Beautiful. Yeah,
it's like, oh wow, this is a big. Where the first map. Not that it was exactly the same, but it had the same look to everything.
It had one color palette.
Yes.
Yeah.
So question, did they get rid of the first map, or is that still available?
Well, on the game, you can't select the first map, but I mean, they're not going to, like, fully get rid of it. I think, if anything, hopefully they'll bring out modes where you can choose between the two maps. That's what I would like. Cause
I thought that was what happened.
No, you can only play the new map now.
Yeah, when you click ready, they throw you right in the new map.
Yeah, it's that in the ranked mode. From the last time I played the ranked mode, it looks like they got a new ranked mode as well. Or like they updated the ranked mode.
I think they want people to play it, to give it a chance. You know what I mean? Because you know really some people don't like change, and so this forces them to be like, you're going to play this.
Maybe a month later they bring it back. Or I'd be interested to see them like fuse up some of the options. Like I found the old map a little boring compared to this map, but there are certain locations on the old map that I miss a lot, and I'd love to see them like throw actually, you know what, the new map's so full you wouldn't be able to find space to put it on there. But
I'm just really surprised that they ended up deciding to do this, because I thought that you could just choose whatever map, just kind of like what PUBG did, where I think PUBG's got like 3 different maps you can play on now, and
you can choose them.
Search them individually. So. I don't know. I think that's pretty weird. Hopefully, people are, there's a bit of an uproar about it, so that they bring back the original map.
I think they will eventually.
They have to, yeah.
Maybe it is just the new season launch. They want everyone to be, because I guess if they had Kings Canyon still in the game, everyone's going to be playing the new map anyways because it's new. So maybe this was just the idea of, let's take out the old map for now, let everyone enjoy the new stuff. And then in a little bit, we'll bring back the original map, which hopefully is the plan. Because although I would like to try out the new map, I'm sure for myself, inevitably, there would be a point where I'm like, you know what, I want to jump back into Kings Canyon, because there are a lot of locations that I really love from that original Apex map.
Oh, yeah. I like Bunker. Bunker was one of my favorite spots.
Did you buy the season pass?
I almost did last night, actually, but then I stopped playing. But I think I'm going to. The previous season pass definitely caught my eye, and this season pass looks pretty good too. So I think I'm actually going to do it. Also, like, I'm not the best at this game, so it takes me forever to grind like the materials needed to be able to unlock the next character, and I really want to play as Crypto. So I'm either just gonna buy Crypto.
How much is it? Is it $9.99?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it's basically it's the same as any other like battle pass, really.
That's not bad.
So I'm considering either getting the battle pass or just straight up buying Crypto.
And then if you buy the battle pass, it doesn't unlock the older characters. Let's say you didn't buy season 1, you didn't buy season 2. You only buy season 3. Are you only going to get Crypto, or are you going to get the other ones?
Well, you don't get Crypto, as far as I know.
Crypto you can purchase, or you can use the in-game currency that you earn to be able to unlock him, right?
Through the Battle Pass, you can earn more of that in-game currency to be able to buy, because you'll get more Apex packs and things like that. So you'll be able to get the crafting materials needed to buy any of the characters you haven't bought yet. I still don't have Watson, for instance. I've been saving up for Watson for a while now. But now I'm probably going to get Crypto instead. I just ended up not getting
Watson because she seemed more geared towards like the competitive play.
Very defensive,
and it was a character that obviously is very useful to any team.
Especially late game.
Not my play style.
Like she's amazing to use late game because the circle's so small. And
exactly.
Those her abilities are amazing there, yeah. I saw a lot of cool gameplay with Crypto involving the drone. Like, it looks like a lot of fun. If you're not good at multitasking, don't do it. But if you can, man, it's great as well. And then the drone has this thing where it's like an EMP essentially, and that thing sucks. It affects everyone. So if the drone goes down and you're near it, oh man, that just blows. Hopefully they nerf that because it's a little OP.
Is it?
Yeah, in my opinion.
All right. How many? There's like 4 unlockable characters now.
Let's see, yeah. If you didn't get the initial... There was the 2 unlockable characters the game started with, which was Mirage and Caustic. Then they released Watson, and now they've... Then they released... I'm forgetting its name right now. The one character I have... People in the comment section are getting upset right now.
Yeah. Why can't I remember his name either? Hold on.
It's like,
I gotta search this up.
Oh, man. Octane. There we go.
Octane.
So there was Octane, then Watson, and now Crypto. So there's 5 unlockable characters in total now.
Okay.
Yeah. But most people got the first 2 playing the first game because if you're a new player, you get Apex packs like every level, whereas once you get to a higher level, you only get them like every 10 levels or so.
Yeah.
That's when it starts getting difficult
Apparently,
to get the crafting
there's a point
materials.
where you just stop getting them altogether.
Oh yeah, once that's when you have to get the battle pass. Kind of forces you at that point.
I think that's super lame.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, but I also see where they're coming from at that point.
I wish they did similar to what Fortnite does, where at the start of every new season, your level is reset.
Yes.
And that's what everyone kind of assumed that they were going to do. I remember when the first Battle Pass was coming out, everyone's like, okay, let's get to 100 now so you can get the little badge, little icon on your player card. and then
reset.
Your level's going to reset, but it didn't. And I think that's, especially considering that you inevitably just stop earning Apex packs after leveling up altogether. I think that is a terrible, terrible business practice. That is an EA decision right there, and I think that's super, super lame. And I hope that someone puts their foot down at Respawn and says, no, at the start of every new season, everyone's going to get reset back to level 0 so then they can earn Apex packs leading up to a level 100 all over again. I think that's fair. I think that's a nice way to keep your players interested, to keep your players grinding for something, even if they don't get the Battle Pass, because the non-paid tiers in the Battle Pass, they're not that great. Like, let's just be honest. They don't really give you anything. You're not getting anything out of the Battle Pass. And this applies to Fortnite as well. You're not really getting much out of the Battle Pass unless you're paying for it. So if a player like me who plays Apex, who I was very much into it when it first came out, but now I play it a little more casually, just a here and there kind of thing. A player like me, I don't have the time to want to invest into the Battle Pass, so I'm not really going to pay for the Battle Pass. But I still want to like level up and earn stuff from the game and get stuff from
the characters.
New characters. Yeah, like I think that it's really, really stupid.
I didn't even consider it until you brought it up, but like it just dawned on me. That's really messed up if I think about it. Like, because they're going to keep bringing out new characters. They're not going to stop. And at some point in time, if you never buy the Battle Pass, you're just screwed. You're never going to get to play as the new characters unless you fork out the $10 to pay for them cash.
And I understand that because it's this free-to-play game and because they're updating it constantly and they're adding free updates. Like, the characters are dropping in free, technically, I guess you could say, considering that you have to unlock them. It needs to be funded in some way. I get that. But I just feel like this is the wrong way to go about it. I feel like this is just it's a little too much of a shady business practice, whereas there could be a healthy balance here.
They could make the Battle Pass a lot more appealing. I will say that. Like,
yes,
it was the previous season. I looked at the Battle Pass and I was like, this is something I might get. This time I feel the same way. I still don't feel like very much inclined to get it, but I still feel like, okay, it's better than the first season. You know what I mean? But I still don't know if it's like worth the $10. That's the thing. Like, every time I get like to click the button to buy the Battle Pass, I'm like, is it worth the $10? See,
I remember the first Battle Pass was atrocious.
Oh,
and
that was horrible.
Almost entirely the reason I stopped playing the game, because I was riding the tsunami of hype that was Apex Legends when the game first came out. I remember I was at like 2,000 kills, like super quick. I had over 100 wins. Me and my squad were going nuts with the game. And then that Battle Pass dropped and I was like, man, this is lame.
This sucks.
Like, there is nothing here. And it just completely killed all the hype that I had for the game, which is unfortunate. I still play it, I still enjoy it, but I feel like they really shot themselves in the foot with with just the lack of quality in that first Battle Pass. And ever since then, I feel like they've been trying to recover. And I think the reason Fortnite is so successful with each season and with each Battle Pass that they release, they got a healthy amount of really cool skins. Obviously they have a ton of other cosmetic items that you can use in the game, the pickaxes, the gliders, the
dancing, the emotes. I mean, that's a big thing.
Apex has cashed in a little bit on that as well. I see, like, you have the drop down trails and stuff, or like the skydiving trails and stuff. That stuff is great, and that stuff is like, it's cool, nice little cosmetic items to get. But then there's also the challenges that you can do in Fortnite. There's the weekly challenges. Where you got to find, there's like little hidden things surrounded around the map. There's like certain objectives you got to complete, get a certain amount of kills with weapons or whatever it might be.
They have very interesting challenges, that's for sure. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you interested. Back when I was still playing a lot of Fortnite, the hidden, like, finding the hidden battle stars and things like that. I love that stuff.
That was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Apex does have a bit of that. I see that they do their challenges as well. That's there. I just don't feel it's as engaging, and it doesn't
they're a little easy
you as much.
They're a little easy as well if you think about it. Like, I had a challenge the other day which was just play as Caustic for one match. I didn't even have to win. Technically, all I had to do was drop down and die, and the challenge was done. Like, no.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate. I still think Apex is a great game. I'm not trying to harp on it too much. But there are still a couple of things they gotta figure out.
I guess they're also on the point of, like, they're worried of, like, because I think that the Battle Pass would be a lot more appealing if they added emotes and dances. But then it's a thing of, like, people are going to be saying you're ripping off Fortnite, and like they don't want to go into that territory, and I completely get that. But there's got to be another way. They've got to be able to make things somewhat interesting.
I mean, they have the finishers, right?
But those came with the game though already.
Yeah,
they kind of. I guess they could add new ones.
Yeah,
You're right,
that's what I'm saying. They could add new ones or sell new ones or whatever, earn new ones, something like that.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got, this is something we kind of predicted. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to the PC. Yep. They're actually giving some bonuses for anyone who pre-purchases the game on the Rockstar's PC launcher starting on October 9th. I guess there was like some data miners that found evidence pointing towards a PC version. I mean, the thing is, you don't even need a data mine.
I mean, obviously,
when they had a launcher and they're giving away free stuff, it's like, okay, why are they making a launcher now and giving away free stuff? Oh, because they're gonna release their latest, biggest game on the PC.
Speaking of launchers and where it's gonna be available on PC. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Epic Game Store?
Oh, my God. You know, I mean, also, like I said, it's something that didn't need to be data mined because all of Rockstar's previous successful games are on PC as well. Like, obviously, and then also the huge amount of people who can't wait to mod this game. You know what I mean? I can't, like, as silly as it sounds, but I can't wait to, like, run around as Super Mario on a horse. You know what I mean? And go do cowboy things as Super Mario.
But the first is weird because the first Red Dead wasn't on the PC.
Isn't it on PC now?
It might be now, but I know when it first came out, it was not.
Yeah, I mean, same with a lot of their previous games, like the Bully game as well. But a lot of their games, I think pretty much all their previous successful games are on PC right now.
I mean, they're not so limited where the game's still coming on Steam. It's just delayed, right? It's like they're doing basically an exclusive window on their own to see how that goes. I think they want to see what percentage are they going to sell on their
I wonder what
launcher.
What's the point of them making their own launcher? Like,
because they don't have to give the royalties. I mean, Steam is 30 freaking %, right? So they want to see what percentage can they sell on their own versus.
True. And they got very successful games, so it's plausible.
And Steam. So they're going to determine, is it worth it for them to put it on other platforms or to keep it?
I could see Blizzard doing the same thing in the future.
It's going to be actually for Google Stadia.
Oh, that makes sense though as well.
Yeah. I don't know what the cut is on Google Stadia, but for Steam, it's 70-30. So
I mean, it's going to be better than Steam. They have to. They got to be better than the competitors. I don't know. It's going to be better than the Epic launcher, which I know the Epic launcher definitely gives the developers a much better deal.
Yeah, they get like 82 or something like that.
Yeah,
82, 83, something like that.
So they'd have to combat that. Well, actually, I don't know because they have their own. If they're having their own console, maybe not.
Yeah. What do you think, Caboose?
This was definitely like a no-brainer thing. I had heard about this earlier this year through someone who said that yes, it exists. So, I mean, but again, I don't think there was anyone out there who was very surprised that this is being announced. I think everyone knew that inevitably Red Dead 2 would be coming to PC. I'm just surprised it was a whole year later. Although I think this is what they did for GTA 5 as well. I think they ended up having like a very similar scenario.
They focused a lot on the online first. They wanted to make sure that that's perfect before getting it on PC.
I think as well, was it right around the time that they had announced the next gen port when they announced like the PC port as well, where they said like,
yes,
you can get it on next gen and you're gonna have the first person mode and everything. So
yeah, they came out. They came out with the PS4 release. I think you're right. Yeah.
So nevertheless, PC version is great. I think we all saw it coming. It's gonna be on a ton of different launchers. It will end up on Steam.
So it's December,
I believe.
December. I think Stadia November. Epic, I think, is right off the bat because I was wrong. It's actually 88%. So you're only losing 12% compared to 30%.
That's great though. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I understand. I guess it's good that it is coming out on Steam this year. So that's probably why there isn't as much of an outcry that it's going to end up on like all the other different launchers beforehand.
Those launchers. Launchers.
Yeah, I know.
Those free launchers are so pesty.
It's too much. It's too much for me to handle.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is great news. I want to see, what a beefy PC is going to be able to make this game look like. I'm sure as great as the game already looks, it's going to look even better if somebody's got a monster PC that can run this thing on max settings. And then I hope that this also kind of like revitalizes the game, breathes new life into it, because I feel even though they got Red Dead Online, up and running and everything, and they're doing all that they're doing with the game and adding constant updates to it, it still feels like GTA Online is just much bigger.
And better. It's more fun, man. Like, I'm still playing GTA Online. Compared to, I haven't touched Red Dead since I basically finished it,
Me neither. I played a little bit of Red Dead Online. I did have fun with it. It was just still while it was in its beta, so I haven't touched it since it's gone out of beta. So maybe I should jump back in and try it again. A couple of my friends say that they do have fun with it here and there, but it's just unfortunate that it hasn't found the same success that GTA Online did, especially considering all the hype surrounding just Red Dead Redemption 2 as a game. So it's surprising. But hopefully the PC release does breathe new life into the game, and people jumping online, getting on the servers and everything on PC will create a new value for the game.
I think where the online fell short was if you have like a crew of three other people to play with, and they're there to play all the time, you're gonna have a great time on the online.
Yeah.
But if you don't, it's a struggle. Whereas with GTA Online, you technically don't even, you can make a friend in like 2 minutes on GTA Online. You just get thrown into the matchmaking server. It's a lot more quicker. It's easier. And then once again, like getting around is easier. Like getting from one point of the map to the other point in a car as opposed to a horse.
The time period definitely doesn't help.
That's for sure.
Yeah, so if you do pre-order, I mean, the bonuses aren't just like, oh, hey, here's an extra skin or extra horse or whatever. They're like giving you you can pick basically 2 free PC titles. Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Bully, LA Noire, and Max Payne 3. So you can pick 2 out of those list.
Yeah, I recommend San Andreas and Max Payne 3.
So if you've never played those games before, or you want to play them again, and you buy Red Dead 2, and then you go with one of these, that's a pretty good deal.
Don't they also give you some starting like credits for the game, like some money and things like that?
Yeah.
I think they give you some starting stats as well.
Well, they give you Warhorse, Treasure Map, Cash Bonus, and 50 gold bars for Red Dead Online.
Oh, online, that's what it was.
Yes.
Speaking of launches, while we're on this topic, do you think Steam is starting to feel it yet? Feel the hurt? They have to, right?
I mean, at some point they're going to have to reduce their revenue. I mean, 70-30 is
I don't know, Dennis, because Steam is such a juggernaut, and they're like $1 billion company. I feel like no matter what the blowback is, and no matter what Epic Games and their launcher does, it won't make any impact on Steam for such a long time, So I don't know. I feel like there's definitely an effect there. There's definitely something happening with the Epic Games launcher. I mean, look at the sales of Borderlands 3. All the people complaining and yelling about it being on Epic Games Store, this, that, and the other. The game still sold like hotcakes on the Epic Games Store.
Still don't know why they were complaining.
Because at the end of the day, it's a vocal minority of people who are out there screaming about the Epic Games Store. That's all it is at the end of the day.
I downloaded it from a different store.
Yeah, I know.
200 megabytes wasted.
You click your mouse a couple extra times. So there is a blowback there, though, because, yes, the Epic Games Store does provide a little more value to the developers to have their games being sold exclusively on their launcher. But I feel like it doesn't make any effect to Steam because at the end of the day, they're still $1 billion company.
Well, like you said, they're a juggernaut. It's a household name. Like I think personally, not to get into the Apple Samsung argument or Apple Android argument, I hate all Apple products except for the iMac, the new iMacs. Those are nice, but
I am an iPhone user, Josh. So
we can talk about that on Apex. But it's one of those things where it doesn't matter. Once you're a household name, you're a household name. Like you can like, excuse my French here, you can fuck up a lot, and people are still gonna know you, and they're still gonna end up using you. You know.
But if you keep fucking up, that's when things start turning.
Exactly.
That's when people jump from whatever they're using.
But they got so much in the works. I mean, aren't they more focused now on their VR headset than anything else?
I mean,
plus, as long as, sorry to cut you off, Dennis, but as long as these games still end up on Steam, I feel like it doesn't hurt them in the end. As long as Red Dead Redemption 2 in December, I can go buy it on Steam, I feel like most people are not going to care.
As long as the Steam sales are there, people are going to be coming to those Steam sales. I'm still using Steam for Steam sales. I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess, I don't care if I'm buying from the Steam store or the Epic store.
It makes no difference.
I care about, what the price is and, when it's released also matters too, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, let's say I never played Red Dead 2 and I wanted to, and I didn't own a console and I'm playing on my PC.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm getting it on the Rockstar launcher or the Epic, whatever's coming out first.
Exactly, wherever you can get it first. Yeah.
So
Because you're excited, you want to play it, of course.
I'm not waiting 2-3 months to do it on Steam.
I mean, yeah, in that essence, of course, just hop on the first launcher, get the game as soon as it's available. But in the long run, when you're looking at playing games from like 5-6 years ago, just for fun, it's still probably going to be better to look at Steam, you know. Just
they have a bigger
sales.
catalog. They have bigger catalog.
Yeah, and like they got like you can like get some amazing stuff for like $3. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I remember I bought BioShock Infinite like maybe only like a year after its release for $7 on Steam. I was very happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's that topic. Next one, we've got Bungie. They will finally release a non-Destiny game by 2025. When I saw this, like 2025, like
there's still a whole lot more Destiny to come.
Landed that far ahead.
Yeah, like I'm like that's a long time. I mean, the console said, you know, the new ones are coming out next year, supposedly.
Yep.
So that's it, next year, 2020. That's 5 years into the cycle of this next one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
of the next generation, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, their main goal, as I think it's a little optimistic, but you know they can pull it off. Their main goal is to become a behemoth of a game company producing more than just, you know, Destiny, which I mean obviously is a smart idea. But like you said, by 2025, so it's like how much more Destiny 2 are we going to get? Or I guess Destiny 3 is going to be on the next console, you know?
Yep.
And then how many years are they going to put into that afterwards? Because they have to. I'd imagine they probably still keep up the Destiny franchise even while they're working on other games, but they're going to have to hire a lot more people, possibly buy some smaller companies. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. So Destiny 1 came out September 2014. And I don't remember if it was someone at Bungie or Activision, but somebody who was working on the game said essentially that Destiny is a 10-year plan. And
I remember that, yeah.
That's the idea. And they're halfway into it. If they get to that 10 years, that's 2024. They got a year to release a new game. So I feel like
that's pressure.
This does make sense. I feel like they are going to release a new game by that time. I think they're definitely going to hold up to that promise, but it's so hard to deny the success that Destiny has brought them. And this game is such an anomaly. It essentially invented, or maybe not necessarily invented, but popularized or kind of mainstreamed the games as a service model.
And FPS MMOs in general.
Yes. And against all odds it did that. Destiny 1 comes out, mediocre reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's really loving the game. The content really isn't there for even the people that are playing the game. But for some reason, it ends up on top. Then they release these major expansions each and every year or a couple of months apart, and people are still playing this game, and it ends up getting this cult following that sort of reminds me of Rainbow Six Siege, where that game came out to these lukewarm reviews, and then for some reason everyone just kept playing the game.
I think they hit gold with it was on Destiny because I hated the first Destiny, but I think it was the third or fourth expansion. Like something Heart of Iron, or like when they added the actual the melee weapons, they hit gold, man. Like from that point onwards, and like just literally from that point onwards, it's just been like uphill. I love Destiny 2. I didn't pick it up when it came out. I got it for free. It was free on the PS on.
It's free to play now.
I was gonna say as soon as it became free to play, I got that, got myself into it, got the expansions. It's just a fun game, you know. Like even without friends, like I can spend hours grinding. I love looter shooters as well, you know. And then having that like massive online social aspect to it, it's awesome.
Yes. Yeah. So it just there's something about this game that just worked, and obviously, so they just released their latest expansion. It's Shadowkeep. You can go back to the moon. Now the game is free to play, not the entire game, but the base game from when it first came out
without any expansions.
So which I think is great. I think that's awesome. Bungie obviously is split from Activision now and have become independent. And granted, if I were to give a short review for Shadowkeep, I think it's not the greatest expansion. The story is very short. It's super short-lived, but there's a lot of interesting ideas there. And I guess the whole idea of it being games as a service is they're planning to continue to add these new features, new game modes, new things to do throughout the coming months to let this expansion not just be a it released today, all the content is there, go out and play it. Although I do feel that should be, to an extent, what an expansion should be like. But what they tried to do here this time is they released the expansion, and like, here, there's a little bit of story content, then you can get ready for the raid, which came out today, I believe. And then after that, these next coming weeks, we're going to add new game modes, new quests, new weapons for you to go out and obtain. So I think there's something about Destiny where I don't know how Bungie did it. I don't know how they continue to do it, but they've just struck the ultimate gold mine, and it has this insane cult following. It's to the point where every major expansion that has been released for the game, whether it's through Destiny 1 and now with Destiny 2, the servers have crashed. And that's just that's no joke. That just means the amount of traffic that gets thrown at this game each and every major release is overwhelming. And granted, I don't know how Bungie hasn't gotten it together and avoided stuff like this now, but the fact that it's happening must mean that there are a lot of people playing this game still, and that blows my mind. You know, we're 5 years into this 10-year plan for Destiny, and it's still just as big as it was 2, 3, 4 years ago, which honestly, that's crazy.
Yeah, the free-to-play aspect of it was that so many people that I know that never wanted to play the game. They were like, it's free, I'll try it out, and became diehard fans after like the first day of playing it for free. They're like, this is fucking awesome, you know what I mean? Another thing that I personally, for me, the thing that I enjoy the most about Destiny is it has like some platformer like parts in it, if you will, with the raids and stuff. Like, I really enjoy that, like the kind of hopping around, trying to solve the puzzles. Like, that was really fun as well. I enjoyed those things, yeah.
Yeah, so if they're going to plan to release a new game by 2025, I have full trust in Bungie. They're the guys behind Halo. They're the guys behind Destiny. Whether you like the game or not, you have to appreciate its success and respect the amount of success that Bungie found with that franchise. So whatever they do seems to work. They're right up there, or at least they could be up there with this next game that they might have planned with like a Rockstar in terms of, you know, the sheer popularity of a developer. So I look forward to whatever they got planned.
But we're assuming they're going to release a Destiny 3 between now and 2025, right?
I mean, on the next console they have to, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
And that will be the last Destiny game for a while. Not that it's gone forever, but just for a while, and then they'll launch it. It actually kind of reminds me of old school Blizzard, because old school Blizzard was like, "Hey, we make one game, takes a while, and then people get super addicted, like StarCraft, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, and then they just mine that franchise with expansion packs over and over and over."
Look at World of Warcraft specifically. Like, holy crap, man! That's a game where I knew people who were playing it like way back in the 2000s, and then like they don't play the game for years, and then a new expansion comes out, and they're like, "Oh, time to get back into it," you know. The real question, I guess, at this point in time is, and we can only speculate, but what do you guys think will be the next game? Do you think they're going to stick to first-person shooters? I mean, they're great at it. It's Bungie.
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah. I assume so.
That's their bread and butter.
If they have Halo and now Destiny under their belt. But what are they going to do differently? Because Destiny was an MMO version of a FPS, which was different than Halo.
I think they're going to add some RPG characteristics to it. Go like for an FPS. I mean, there's loads of FPS RPG games out there now, especially with Borderlands. But I don't know. I can kind of see them going for that FPS RPG. Or who knows? Maybe they're going to throw like a spanner in the works and go in a completely opposite direction. Because I can still see them doing this whole sci-fi fantasy kind of game, first-person shooter stuff. But who knows? Maybe they decide to go in the complete opposite direction. You know,
we'll see.
No, we can only be sitting at this table in 2025 and talking about it.
Yeah. It's just crazy, just because some places are like they jump from game to game to game or whatever, and they're just like 10 years. This one. I mean, think about Halo. Before they let Microsoft take over the reins, there was a ton of Halo games, and that was like the only thing they worked on.
True, yeah. They specialized it. Once again, if it's not broken, don't fix it, you know?
Yeah.
Pump out what we know we're good at.
Yeah.
Because they did, Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST.
And then Reach.
Yeah. And then they handed it over. So, a lot of years. All right, the last one is Avengers. A new Avengers game, but it's not really a game. It's called Avengers Damage Control VR, and it's for the Void VR,
It's a cinematic experience.
which I've talked about before because we've done the Wreck-It Ralph Breaks VR, and we also did the Star Wars Secrets of the Empire.
There was a Wreck-It Ralph VR game?
Yeah, there was, but it was at the Void. So if people weren't familiar with the Void is one of those places that you go to at a mall or somewhere. It's like an experiential VR where it's like you're not buying it for your headset. It's not on the Oculus Quest
It's
or
an
Rift.
experience you go to experience.
Yeah, you put on a backpack and a whole thing, and then you can pick up it's like a whole map. Well, not a map, but like a little maze of room or whatever.
It was specifically designed for that area that layout.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Okay.
So
I'm starting to understand now.
Yeah, so we did that for Star Wars Secret of the Empire. It's very cool, which is funny because that game ended up being basically a prequel, or that experience ended up being a prequel to the Vader Immortal game. And it's the same company, ILM X Lab. And so now they're doing one for the Marvel Universe. It's called Avengers Damage Control. I think this one has these Iron Man suits that Shuri has created or worked on, and then you go in there. It's always up to 4 players at a time.
Well, that's cool.
And you go in there together, and it's just cool because you can voice chat with each other as you're playing, and it's team oriented but also competitive at the same time. Who can get the higher score?
Who's the better Iron Man?
Yeah,
essentially.
it's very cool. So the teaser trailer came out. The teaser trailer doesn't have that much to it, a lot of close-up shots and whatnot. But it's just one of those cool things. And we actually here at Collider are going to go check it out. Yeah, they have a press day thing.
I can't wait to hear what you guys have to think about it.
Yeah. It's one of those things where how we're big on VR here, and experiencing something cool like
that'd be really cool. They got quite a few of the cast members in there, don't they?
I'm not sure. I'd have to take a look at the press release. I'm sure they do.
Because I was reading up on it earlier this week, and I think there's at least
It looks like it's very Black Panther centric.
Yeah. It's
the trailer showed these Iron Man armors, but made out of Wakandan tech.
Yeah. Let me read that.
I remember reading earlier on this week somewhere that they're gonna have, I guess essentially cameos from. I would hope that they would use the actual cast members. That'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Letitia Wright shows up in the trailer, so I'm assuming maybe that's gonna be the case. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. And
it sounds pretty cool though. It sounds like a fun experience.
I know that they were. From what I was reading, I know that they were looking at trying to add one more person from the MCU.
Yeah. So Shuri is testing her latest prototype design. Emergency response suits created with a proprietary blend of Wakanda and Stark Industries technology.
Okay.
So yeah, and then fans will fight side by side with Avengers like Doctor Strange,
there we go,
Ant-Man, and the Wasp, and so they'll be doing the voices. I mean, these experiences are generally about 10 to 15 minutes long, so you're not asking these actors to do a ton of stuff, right?
Yeah,
they go in a booth. I'm pretty sure within an hour they can finish everything they need to do
easily. I recently went to Disneyland and I did the Guardians of the Galaxy drop thing that they do, and I would imagine that was actually really cool because they had the whole cast there from the Guardians of the Galaxy do a special video kind of experience just for the ride. But I'd imagine that probably took them a day. You know what I mean? They're great actors. They can pull it off easily.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. All right.
I got the cast and crew here if you guys want to hear it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we got Trevor Duvall doing the voice for Rocket Raccoon, Laura Bailey for Captain Marvel.
Nice.
Fred. I can't finish his last name. Fred Tatassi for Hulk. Jason Spisak for Dead. Oh, they got Deadpool in this. That's gonna be interesting. They got Ronan, Friday, Thor, Crystal, Loki, Star-Lord, Spider-Man, Venom, Doctor Strange, and then Groot. Looks like they got quite a. This is from the IMDb video game page.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they're going to have quite a few characters in there. That looks like fun.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
All right, before we wrap up, what are you guys playing right now?
Apex.
You're playing a lot of Season 3 map?
Yesterday,
new map?
playing a lot of it yesterday, man. I was loving that. Other than that, Well, yeah, this week specifically, I've just been playing Apex. That's about it. Yeah.
I've
been back into Destiny 2 because of the new expansion.
Okay.
Just checking out all the new stuff that's there, and then besides that, I'm gearing up for Terminator next week for Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh, yeah. They've been releasing those videos of Arnold.
Yeah.
As the T-800.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait.
That's gonna be exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been playing a little bit of Apex, but then mostly I'm trying to finish Control. I'm like at the very end of Control.
I was gonna say you've been on that for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I need to get that. I really need it. It looks so good. Like it just looks like a visual feast.
It is. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, other games I've been playing now that it just dawned on me was my friend just got his old PlayStation 2, and we've just been like plowing through PlayStation 2 games this past week.
Oh, nice.
Like I've been playing a lot of Sled Storm. Don't know if you got anybody remembers that game. It's like this. You're in it's like a snowmobile, but you're racing and doing tricks essentially. It's like a SSX Tricky. Could have been made by the same people. I'm not too sure. Yeah.
I remember SSX Tricky.
Oh man, I love that game series. I'm so bummed that they never continued with that. That would have been cool. Well, I guess there's Steep. Steep's quite fun. Yeah.
All right, guys. That's it for this episode. Thanks for joining us and listening to us. Josh, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at josh.toki, and you guys can get me on Twitch at josh_toki.
Caboose?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CabooseEK.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero, Instagram Dennis.tzng, and make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/ColliderGames. Subscribe to the Collider Factory podcast feed, and you'll see us there every single week. Till next time, see you guys later.
See ya.